Monsieur le Premier Ministre, Your Excellencies, Monsieur le Secrétaire Général, Honorable Jury, dear Chairman, dear Timekeeper, no time to fool around tonight. Dear members of the government, didn't realize this was Trump's trial, but anyway. Wonderful Cannes representatives of the opposition, thank you for your show tonight. Fabulous audience, we hope you're liking this show at least. Friends, only more 3 speeches to go. You can do it. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Now, as Michelle Obama kindly said, I'm the 2012 French Marianne, Sophie Marceau. And I'm a little anxious to represent the Cannes 2009 committee tonight, due to my previous misfortunes. Let's just hope that tonight, all of my clothes will stay on. Yes, sorry for that shame. The 2 previous speakers showed why people who are running the show are not fools, whether it be in entertainment or politics. These so-called fools are actually running very orchestrated strategies. So, what is the French Marianne doing here? Well, I'm here for the coup de grâce. You see, government assumed that there was always a fool pulling the strings, conspiracy theories. But what if there was no one behind the wheel? That's my thesis tonight. When it comes to the show in social movements, there's no one running the show. But let me address some of the government's points. All of you nearly talk about Trump, and Trump was elected, which means a lot of Americans actually believe in him. No, thank you. And we may not agree with his politics, his pratic, or his haircut, but you have to recognize that some of them believe in them. Your rationality is not the only one that exists. Then, Romain, you talked about Elon Musk and the fact that he tackles the wrong challenges. All challenges should be tackled, even the one of defeating the motion tonight. And technology is a false controlling power? No. Technology has helped society. Are medicine innovation that is foolish? I don't believe so. So now I'll get to my speech because, as Anatole said, our society is a show. My thesis is simple. When it comes to social movements, there's no fools. People are not guided by fools. I know this because I'm the Marianne. People are guided by ideas, by values. The Marianne is more than a statue. It's a promise of freedom. It's also the face on your stamps. And as such, you've licked me all more than once. Think about that. Yes?
Don't you think social media CEOs run the social show?
Well, I do believe that CEOs run the show, but they're not foolish. So, 2 arguments tonight. First, social movements don't start with fools. And second, once begun, social movements take a life of their own with no one leader. So one, social movements don't start with fools. If people get involved, it's that they believe in what they're doing. They believe that their stance is not foolish. People get involved because they believe in a cause, because they believe they can change the world for the better. And here I would like to build on what John has said. Calling someone foolish is a pure judgment. What some may seem as foolishness may be called as political courage by others. We rely on symbols and icons to spread ideas. For example, what do I represent? Yes, la boum. But more than this, as the French Marianne, I represent liberté, égalité, fraternité. So, social movements take a life of their own with no true leaders. Values go beyond individuals. Yes, please.
Why is believing in something really strongly incompatible with lacking judgment and thus being foolish?
Well, you may think that someone is lacking judgment, but on the other side, that same person thinks you're lacking judgment. What we're trying to say here is that foolishness is actually very personal. How can you really determine that someone is a fool? What if we were all not fools, but just creative persons? So, social movements cannot be contained. Once they take off, they take a life of their own, that people may lead parts of in very different ways. But the fact is that a social movement in itself has no definite leader, has not one phase that incarnates the whole movement. And is therefore, it cannot be run by a fool or fools. Can you say there was one particular man in charge of the French Revolution? No. Another example is to look at civil rights. Martin Luther King died on the 4th of April, 1968. But did the movement die with him? No, it didn't. Ideas and values are much more than individuals. I'm a feminist and a great fan of Beyoncé too, Michelle. The pressure on today's human is huge. We have to be perfect, except on stamps, apparently. They put my left side of the face when clearly my right one looks way better. Don't you agree? I know. You like my left side better? But who remembers Emily Pankhurst, or the names of the women who started the Me Too movements? Are not a lot of you, but that's okay. Because I believe that all of you believe in gender equality. Feminism shows that we don't need a single figure to lead the people. We can all be part of the movement. No need for a leader, fool or not. Now my time is coming at an end, both as tonight's speaker and as the Marianne. Because as is the tradition, every 5 years I get replaced with a much younger and beautiful model. Talk about body positivity. But I'm leaving you in the capable hands of Pierre Lescure, who will draw all the necessary conclusions and remind you once again why the government is wrong. Remember, social movements are not guided by any single leader, fool or not, and this is why the government is wrong. Everyone is a player, a leader of the show. We are all parts of something much bigger, of the value we carry out. I beg you to reject this motion. Can you make the right choice? Yes, I believe you can.